ready to dive back into 1950s Los Angeles because we're taking a deep dive into LA Confidential.
Classic.
And, you already know this film's amazing, but today we're going to break down, its complex characters, the intricate plot.
Okay.
And really kind of get to the heart of what makes it so captivating,
Yeah, it's interesting how this film manages to be like a love letter to classic noir, but it also kind of subverts those very tropes at the same time.
Right.
And it's a story about ambition, corruption, and the dark secrets lurking beneath the city's, glamorous facade.
It's like someone polished a crime scene to look like a Hollywood premiere.
Yes.
And speaking of facades, we have to talk about the three cops at the center of it all. Exley, White, Vincennes.
Yes.
I mean, each one, more complex than they appear.
Absolutely. You have Exley, the ambitious rookie who's willing to play the game to climb the ranks. Then there's Bud White, a brutal enforcer wrestling with his own moral compass.
Right.
And then Vincennes, the charming detective seduced by the allure of fame.
Oh, yeah.
So they're each driven by their own desires, their own demons.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to watch their paths intertwine.
Okay, but this isn't just a character study, right? The Night Owl Massacre throws everything into chaos.
That's a good point.
So tell me more about how that one event kind of unravels the whole conspiracy.
Yeah, so the Night Owl Massacre isn't just a turning point in the story, but it's like a magnifying glass held up to the city's festering corruption. It forces these characters and the audience to confront the darkness beneath the surface of 1950s Los Angeles.
Right.
Before that bloody night, you could almost convince yourself it was all sunshine and movie stars.
Totally.
But afterwards, you have to face the reality that power and corruption can twist even those sworn to uphold the law.
Which brings us to the intricate web of characters kind of pulling the strings from the shadows.
Yeah.
We've got Mickey Cohen, the notorious gangster, calling shots from behind bars. And then there's Pierce Patchett.
Right.
This smooth operator who seems to have a hand in, every vice imaginable.
Yeah, and Patchett is a brilliant example of the film's complexity. He's not a stereotypical violent mobster. Remember when he calmly tells Bud White to find Season's killer, Mr. White? I'll give you a handsome reward.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you desire.
Wow.
On the surface, it seems like a simple request.
Right.
But beneath that, carefully crafted veneer, it's a threat.
Yeah.
Patchett embodies the film's exploration of power dynamics, how it can be wielded subtly, quietly, and still be utterly menacing.
It's that constant push and pull between illusion and reality that makes this film so compelling.
Right.
We see it in the characters, in the setting, even in the way the story unfolds.
Exactly. The film challenges us to look beyond the surface, to question everything we see and hear. It's a theme that resonates even more strongly today in our world of curated online personas and carefully constructed narratives.
It's so true. And speaking of curated realities, right, the film's depiction of 1950s Los Angeles,
right,
it's both dazzling and disturbing at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like stepping into a noir postcard. But there's this palpable sense of danger lurking beneath the surface.
Yeah.
How'd they capture that so effectively?
Well, Curtis Hanson, the director, was really adamant about authenticity.
Okay.
But he also wanted to use the visual language of classic noir to amplify the story's themes.
Right.
So he screened films like The Big Heat, and Touch of Evil for his crew, and focused on how those films use shadows and Dutch angles, dramatic lighting to create that sense of unease.
It's funny you should mention that because I was thinking about that incredible scene in the jazz club.
Oh, yeah.
The way they use those Venetian blinds to cast shadows on Exley's face as he's grappling with his conscience.
Right.
It's visual storytelling at its finest.
Exactly. Hanson isn't just recreating the look of 1950s LA.
Right.
He's using it to reflect the characters' internal struggles.
Yeah.
It's that marriage of style and substance that elevates LA Confidential above a standard crime thriller.
And we can't forget about the incredible cast.
Oh, yeah.
Guy Pearce.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe.
Yes.
Kevin Spacey, Kim Basinger. They're all fantastic.
You're so good.
But I read somewhere that Hanson intentionally cast lesser-known actors
right
for the main roles.
Yes.
Why do you think he did that?
I think that was a stroke of genius on Hanson's part.
Okay.
Because by casting relatively unknown actors, it allowed the audience to kind of discover these characters without any preconceived notions. He wanted us to see Bud White, not Russell Crowe in a fedora.
Right.
And I think this approach really heightens the sense of realism and allows the characters to breathe and evolve without the baggage of past performances.
It's amazing how casting can completely change the way we experience a film.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, I know the film won a couple of Oscars.
Yes.
But what about its lasting impact?
Right.
Do you think it holds up all these years later?
Absolutely. L.A. Confidential isn't just a great film. It's a landmark achievement in neo-noir cinema.
Okay.
Its influence can be seen in everything from, The Dark Knight to, True Detective, the film's intricate plotting, morally complex characters, and willingness to just subvert genre expectations continue to resonate with audiences and filmmakers today. I think the London Film Critics Circle even voted it one of the best films of the past 30 years.
Wow.
Which, that says a lot about its enduring legacy.
And that ending.
Oh, man.
It's both satisfying and unsettling at the same time.
Yeah. We
see Exley, accepting a promotion, seemingly embracing the corrupt system he once fought against.
Right.
While Bud and Lynn drive off into the sunset hoping for a fresh start.
Right.
Did that ending resonate with you?
It's a brilliant subversion of the classic Hollywood ending.
Okay.
L.A. Confidential doesn't offer easy answers or simple resolutions.
Right.
Exley might have brought down the bad guys, but at what cost?
Right.
He's become what he once despised.
Yeah.
He's a player in the very system he sought to expose.
It reminds us that sometimes the line between right and wrong isn't really a line at all.
Yeah.
It's more like
it's blurry,
ever-shifting gray area.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the film so thought-provoking.
Right.
It forces us to confront the complexities of justice, ambition, and the seductive nature of power.
Yeah.
It suggests that even when we think we've won, there are always compromises.
Yeah.
Always casualties.
Yeah, it really gets under your skin, right?
Oh, for sure.
It's not just a thrilling crime drama, but it's also kind of like a meditation on the choices that we make and the compromises that we're willing to accept.
Right.
That line from the screenplay where Dudley Smith tells Exley, a good cop, sometimes he has to become a bad man.
Oh, yeah. That's a great line. Yeah. And that really kind of encapsulates the moral ambiguity of the entire film. It's a question that kind of hangs over every character, every decision.
Right.
Where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
When the pursuit of justice requires you to compromise your own principles.
It reminds me of that classic noir trope, the flawed hero.
Right.
Who's caught between a rock and a hard place.
Right.
But L.A. Confidential, takes it a step further.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
It does.
It doesn't offer any, easy answers or those pat resolutions.
No, it doesn't shy away from the messiness of reality.
Right.
Remember that final scene with Exley standing alone, watching Bud and Lynn drive away?
Yeah.
He might have achieved a semblance of justice.
Right.
But at what cost?
Right.
He's trapped within the system.
Yeah.
The very system he sought to change.
It's like a victory that feels more like a defeat.
Yeah, totally.
And that final shot with Exley kind of bathed in the harsh light of that street lamp.
Yeah.
It's like the film is saying, look closely.
Right.
This is the true cost of ambition, of compromise.
It is, yeah. And that's what makes L.A. Confidential so much more than just a genre film. It stays with you long after the credits roll.
Oh, for sure.
It forces you to ask yourself those difficult questions about the nature of truth, justice, and the compromises we make in their pursuit.
So, as you revisit L.A. Confidential, pay attention to the subtle details, those nuances of performance, the way Hanson uses that visual language of film noir to heighten attention and underscore those themes.
Yes.
This is a film that rewards multiple viewings, I think.
I agree.
It reveals new layers of meaning with each watch.
And keep those final questions in mind, right?
Yeah.
In a world that's saturated with information, where narratives are often manipulated to serve hidden agendas, how do we discern truth from fiction?
That's a great question.
What are the consequences when we choose to look away from uncomfortable realities?
Yeah, make you think.
Right. These are questions that resonate deeply, I think.
They do.
With our own time. And LA Confidential offers a compelling and really thought-provoking exploration of these very themes.
It really does.
It does.
So there you have it. LA Confidential. A film that's not just a love letter to classic noir, but like this really timeless tale of ambition, corruption, and the choices we make when we're faced with these overwhelming odds.
It's such a good film.
It is. And until next time, keep asking those tough questions.
Yes.
And remember, sometimes the truth is a lot more complicated than it appears on the surface.
That's the truth.